you want to get the chance to win one Express Supply Pass or one Nameless Honor, definitely make sure to subscribe to the channel. As I'm hitting 1,000 subscribers, I will give away one of each of those items either on stream or on YouTube, live on twitch.tv/TreyGotchaGaming, or on a YouTube giveaway. Further details will be announced as I'm hitting that check mark of 1,000 subscribers. Also, definitely make sure to check out my YouTube short section. I will try to put out a video there every day as you enjoy the content. Also, make sure to support me there and subscribe to the channel. Less than 50 subscribers are needed until I do hit that check mark of the 1,000 subscribers. Alright, with that out of the way, let's talk about the topic of today's video. We're talking about this one. The new character, HENG AMBIBITOR LUNAE, who is about to release tomorrow already. Pretty much what I want to talk about is with which units you want to use him. I don't plan to summon for this character because, as I already said, I am free to play. So my current plan is not to summon for him. It could change if I do like this character, but as of right now, we'll have to see. Okay, let's go over his kit real quick before we hop into the section of which characters do work alongside with him. So we have his key traces first here. So if we level up all his 3 key traces, we'll have at the start of the battle immediately regenerates a set amount of energy. This is also very this is always very welcome. The next one increases the chance to resist crowd control debuffs. This is pretty much a worse version of the Ochas one. And the third one is this character's crit damage increases when dealing damage to enemy targets with imaginary weakness. Basically, it just enhances the damage if the enemy is already weak to your element. Okay, now let's talk about the first technique. After using his technique, HENG AMBIBITOR LUNAE enters the Leaping Dragon stage, which lasts for a set duration. While in the Leaping Dragon state, uses his attack enables him to move forward rapidly for a set distance, attacking all enemies he touches and blocking all incoming attacks. After entering combat via attacking enemies in the Leaping Dragon state, HENG AMBIBITOR LUNAE deals imaginary damage to all enemies and gains Squama Sacrosancta. So basically, all it says is, if you press E, your first attack or your initial attack for entering the battle deals AoE damage, and you will get that Squama Sacrosancta. I don't like that they don't already explain what it is. They probably will as we're moving forward, but I think they could really make that a little bit shorter. I mean, yeah, because it is for a set duration of time, and he moves a little bit faster. But in the end, what you really want to do is you use E, attack, it does AoE damage, and then you get that Squama Sacrosancta stack, which we will about to know what it will do. All right. Next one is basic attack. This one unleashes 2 hits in this attack to deal imaginary damage to a single enemy. So what is significantly different is that it does 2 hits, and Righteous Hot is a special effect of his basic attack. After each hit dealt during an attack, HENG AMBIBITOR LUNAE gains Righteous Attack, increasing his damage. This effect is stackable and lasts until the end of this turn. So I assume that every hit is an attack. Yeah, okay. After each hit dealt during an attack, yeah. So every hit will just increases his damage. So it's nothing too special. It's just more damage, and basically his kit is involved around having multiple hits with doing one attack. So then he has the the enhanced basic attacks. This is also pretty strange that they do it like that. They show you the enhanced basic attacks before before they explain how you could get to those enhanced basic attacks. But yeah, we will just keep the order here. This consumes a skill point to deliver a 3-hit combo that deals imaginary to a single target damage. Then the second version consumes 2 skill points to deliver a 5-hit combo that deals imaginary to a single target, and adjacent enemies also receive imaginary damage starting from the 4th hit. So basically the last hit is AoE and the first 4 hits or single target damage. And the third basic attack consumes 3 skill points and deliver a 7-hit combo that deals imaginary to a single target. And adjacent enemies also receive imaginary damage starting from the 4th hit. So basically they get starting from the 4th. So 4th, 5, 6, and 7. So maybe so it's 4 hits on AoE, 3 hits single target. So yeah. So this is a skill. That's basically how you get the enhanced basic attacks. So if you basically press it once, you will get the first first enhanced basic attack. If you press it twice, the second one, and if you press it 3 times, you will get the third enhanced basic attack. When using Divine Spear or Fulgurant Leaf, starting from the 4th hit, Outroar is gained before every hit. Each stack of Outroar increases Dan Heng's ability to crit damage. These stacks last until the end of his turn. So basically, everything on his kit besides this is just increasing his damage. So you can choose if you want to just do single target, if you want to do single target with a bit of AoE, or if you want to do a lot of single target with a lot of AoE, basically. But the more damage you want to do, the more skill points you have to pay. That's basically how he works. So now, what is a bit different is his ultimate. In this, they pretty much explain, or should now explain, the Squammer Sector Sanctum. So this delivers a free hit combo that deals imaginary damage to a single target, as well as a set amount of imaginary damage to adjacent enemies. So this is basically an AoE skill. It gains Squammer Sector Sanctum, which stacks up to a set limit. And Dan Heng AMBIBITOR LUNAE may consume an equivalent number of Squammer Sector Sancta instead of skill points. Consuming Squammer Sector Sancta is considered equivalent to consuming skill points. So now here it is explained. Squammer Sector Sancta is just an addition to your skill points. So before you would consume skill points for your abilities, you will consume Squammer Sector Sanctas. This one will increase your Squammer Sector Sanctas as well as your technique. Yeah, so basically this should be a way to decrease his skill point consumption, which I think is a very good addition to give him a little bit of utility. Now, I think his kit is still very easy to understand. Basically, for the amount of ease that you press, the more damage you do, the more skill points you will consume. His ultimate does AoE damage and gives you skill points that only can be used by Dan Heng AMBIBITOR LUNAE. Alright, okay, let's talk about the available units. Let's talk about the units that are available on his banner first. Just from the official livestream, we do know that Yukong, Asta, and March are the featured units on his banner. I honestly don't think that any of these units are really good for him. Maybe Yukong could be good, but Yukong is not really skill point neutral or skill point positive. I think you have to pair Dan Heng AMBIBITOR LUNAE with 3 skill point positive characters, or at least with 2 skill point positive characters and 1 skill point neutral. I think it is not really possible or not really good to pair him if there is any character that is skill point negative. What does that mean, basically, if you don't know that? Skill point positive means that the character generates more skill points than he uses. And a skill point neutral character is that he does regenerate equal points than he uses. And a skill point negative characters, of course, he uses more skill points than he generates. So it's that easy to understand. In easier words, skill point positive characters are mostly characters that do basic attacks and ultimates, and skill point negative characters are characters that really want to do their skill and they want to basically do it every turn. And yeah, Yukong has to do this 2 stacks things. So I think that you basically cannot use her E every 2 turns. Basically, you want to use it to get that stack. Of course, I think there's another ability to get her stacks. When Roaring Bowstring is active, you can regenerate. Yeah. No, there's no other way. Or am I wrong? Yeah, I think I'm not wrong. Yeah. You basically want to get those 2 stacks, therefore you have to use her skill. So at best, Yukong is basically skill point neutral, but she most of the time is neutral or negative. She never can be positive. So she could be the character that is skill point neutral in your team, as long as you put 2 skill point positive characters, because Yukong is overall a very great addition. She increases crit rate and crit damage. At the same time, she deals imaginary damage, which is very nice. And also she increases the imaginary damage, which would automatically passively increase the damage from Dan Heng AMBIBITOR LUNAE. Yeah, so I think this is the only character that could maybe work. Same goes for Asta. Asta basically Asta basically wants to use her E because she wants to break the shield. But I think you could do the skill point positive one by always just use basic attack and then use ultimate. But the thing on Asta is, even though she could be skill point positive, I think that she doesn't really provide the thing that AMBIBITOR, LUNAE, DanHeng wants, because basically if you only use basic attack and ultimate, you would increase his speed, which means that DanHeng, AMBIBITOR, LUNAE would attack more, and if he attacks more, he will use more skill points, which leads to the fact that Asta will just make you lose more skill points, but on DanHeng rather than on Asta. So I also don't think that Asta is the way to go, because she will just make DanHeng attack more and lose you more skill points. March, I don't really know why she's on the banner, basically. I think she doesn't really provide anything. I mean, yeah, she provides a shield to make the character defensively a little bit better, but I don't know about the taunt on her. I don't know what the ultimate will provide you. So basically, I think she's like the worst unit for DanHeng, AMBIBITOR, LUNAE. Not that she is a bad unit, but she is the worst unit on the banner for this new character. Alright, so that's like just my little rant on the characters that are featured on his banner. Well, now, what characters are good with him? What characters even do work with him? So let's go with Harmony character first. We basically, I want to talk about, I just want to start with characters that are not that good with him, but still do work. I think Bronya works if you will make a skill point neutral Bronya. A skill point neutral Bronya is basically only possible if you heavily invest in her. What do I mean with heavily invest? You have to invest speed, that she at least can attack 2 times in a cycle, which leads, I think, to, I don't know, it should be 134 speed or even more. At least 134 speed is the number to make her attack 2 times in a cycle. Why do we want that? Because she has this skill and this only lasts for 1 turn, and in the next turn you want to regenerate that skill point that you used here back by doing a basic attack, and then you just want to swap basic attack E, basic attack E, basic attack E, and splash in the ultimate to increase his crit damage and his attack percentage. So basically just in increasing DanHeng's damage, she is very good. But she can be at best, again, it's the same problem like Yukong, she can be at best skill point neutral. Maybe I would rather use Yukong because she passively already increases imaginary damage, rather than Bronya on a team with DanHeng. Next one would be Silverwolf. I think this is the same, because you could only use her auto attack and then maybe apply these bugs randomly, but I feel like that this feels very inefficient of using Silverwolf. You could use her, or you could have a better use of her if you want to use her like that. That's why I also don't think Silverwolf is optimal, but if you really want to do that, you could try to work around the same thing like Bronya, but the big difference on Silverwolf is that she has a stat that she really wants, and that is effect hit rate. So you have to work around effect hit rate, crit rate, crit damage, and speed. I think that won't be that easy, so she is even less recommended for this team than Bronya. Yeah. Next character. Okay, these were the last 2 that I think that are kind of viable, not recommended, but viable with DanHeng, AMBIBITOR, LUNAE. Now I will talk about the characters that are very much recommended. Number 1, of course, Locha. Definitely, you on the one hand, he is the healer. You have to bring a healer basically with him in the team. And the good thing on Locha is, of course, he has a skill that wants to heal, but I have Locha and I never use it. The really good thing on Locha is this one. He basically has a passive heal, and you will always be able to heal your teammates without using any skill points. So basically everything that Locha always want to do is just use basic attack, so he will only regenerate skill points. He still heals without using a skill, and his ultimate also deals damage, which is also really good. And it regenerates 1 stack of Abyss Flower, which leads into more healing, because as you have 2 stacks, you will trigger the field where he can heal your allies. Yeah, I think not much to say. Locha's pretty much the no-brainer. If you cannot bring Locha, you pretty much basically have to bring another healer to the team, but no healer is as skill point efficient as Locha. So probably, since you still have to bring your healer, you just bring the next best healer, which should be Bailu or Natasha. And maybe you can wait on 3 weeks, and then Fushuan comes out, and you could use Lynx. She's really good though. I don't want to go over her because we don't have her official skills yet, but I can tell you guys, she is a very insane abundance character, and if you want to wait, I think she's worth to pair her along with HENG AMBIBITOR LUNAE, especially if you don't have Bailu or if you don't have Locha. If you don't only have Natasha, she definitely will be better than Natasha. If you have Bailu and you don't want to invest into another character, that should still be fine, but still keep in mind, Bailu is also at best a skill point neutral character. Yeah, we could say that she is skill point positive if you only use auto attacks and can get back the ultimate in time. So yeah, I think it still counts though. The next best one is, in my opinion, Tingyun. Because Tingyun is a skill point positive harmony character. Reason for that is that her buff lasts for 3 turns. So you basically just use a E on your AMBIBITOR LUNAE, and then you can regenerate auto attacks for 2 to 3 more turns. Also, her ultimate regenerates 50 energy for a single ally, which means that you can immediately regenerate 50 energy on AMBIBITOR LUNAE. AMBIBITOR LUNAE can basically use his ultimate skill, and his ultimate skill regenerates those 2 special skill points for himself. So yeah, I think there's also not really much to talk. This is a very efficient character. Increases damage, gives utility by giving the character 50 energy, and also can regenerate skill points. The next character that I think to pair with AMBIBITOR LUNAE is Pela, because she's also a skill point positive character. I don't think that this skill is necessary at all. Remove 1 buff and deals ice damage equal. So I think really Pela can rely on only using auto attacks and ultimate skill. And the ultimate skill is very useful. It has a 100% base chance to inflict expose on all enemies, and when exposed, enemies' defense is reduced by 42% even for 2 turns. This is really good because basically this means reducing the enemy's defense basically means increasing the damage of the HENG AMBIBITOR LUNAE. This also lasts for 2 turns. So you maybe should have 1 turn off while this debuff is not up, but it should be fine. You still regenerate skill points, which HENG can use, and then you have that 1 turn off, and on the 3rd turn you should be able to get this back. I think maybe with this passive, if the enemy is debuff after Pela's attack, Pela will restore 11 extra energy. Yeah, maybe with this passive and an energy orb, I don't know. I didn't do the math on that, but it could be possible that with this passive and an energy orb, you could have this off cooldown. So basically, if the 2 turns, if the 2 turns are over, it could be that you will be able to use her ultimate right away with this and an energy orb. Yeah, but I'm not sure about it. Is there any other affected rate removes debuff? Okay, when enemy is defeated, she gets 5. Okay, basically this is the only thing to regenerate more enemy, but you have to beat an enemy, so yeah, it's not really practical. I'm not too sure, but it could be. If not, still, Pela is skill point positive though. Yeah, and basically I think that's it for all the characters that are currently available, right? Did I miss out on anything? So basically, I think Yukong is just like a quick TLDR. Yukong is viable. Asta is not really viable. March 7, I don't know what she does on his banner. Bronya is viable if you heavily invest in her. Silverwolf is a possibility, but not really viable. Locher, best in slot. If not, pair him with an alternative healer. Tingyun, in my opinion, best harmony slot character for the HENG AMBIBITOR LUNAE. And Pela Also a very, very good addition. All right, with that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. I hope I could help you out with that. As I already mentioned, I won't summon for Embittered LUNAE. I also won't be around because I will work full-time this week. And yeah. Maybe there will be one more video evolving around Embittered LUNAE, but not too sure because I won't summon for him. But you will see, guys. Just be around as I'm posting my next video. See you guys. Bye.